One time I came home from the pool, I had cut my toe on something in the pool, and he was hanging out down there with a bunch of guys. I could tell he was drunk, but I wanted to go down and show him my cut toe. And in front of all these men, you know, my friends' parents and people in the church that were like parents and aunts and uncles to me at the time in the way we lived, he took my leg up to his mouth and stuck my toe in his mouth and started sucking on my cut toe.
This is a story 16 years in the making. That's how long 7 women waited to tell police they still were angry that a Happy Valley pastor wasn't charged after they complained that he sexually abused them in the 1990s. But now, prosecutors have taken a second look at the complaints, and this time they have brought felony sexual abuse charges against Pastor Mike Sparrow, who still leads the North Clackamas Bible Community, a church in which members live and worship together in a network of houses. Because of the statute of limitations, prosecutors have filed charges involving only one of the women. The Oregonian and Oregonian Media Group generally do not disclose the names of alleged sex abuse victims, but these women all want to tell their stories.
If people say it was a church, I immediately kind of correct them because I think that it gives churches a bad name to associate that title with them in any way.
I really felt that it was a good church gone wrong with good ideas in the beginning. And then because of one man, because of his history with trauma and drug abuse and you know, shaky family life, because of him, then it got really, really unhealthy and abusive.
Mike lived downstairs in a little apartment. One side of the apartment was a large, huge TV. He had a bunch of war movies down there. He was really into World War II and Hitler and, you know, Vietnam. And then on the other side was a smaller TV and his bed, which was where we spent a lot of time watching movies and cuddling.
I don't remember the first time because it was what we would always do. It was the special treat to watch a movie with Mike, spend time with Mike.
It took me until I was 30 to feel like I had healed enough to even think about wanting to file charges. I was so just wrapped up in trying to survive.
If we stayed there, I probably would still be living in the house, you know, doing housework and doing Bible studies with Mike and cuddling with him in bed.
All of the women say they've struggled with self-esteem issues after their experiences in the church. They say they have had trouble believing they are valuable as people, leading to self-doubts and problems trusting others.
I feel like I came out of that church with very little sense of self, very low self-esteem. Everything was about pleasing someone else.
I just have really horrible social anxiety from the church. It's created this anxiety in me where I constantly think people are against me, or, you know, I don't know.
I don't feel like I have a lot of self-worth, and I don't see a lot in me that's great.
Part of the whole grooming aspect is making you feel like you did something wrong, that's partly your fault, that you wanted it.
I keep having to remind myself of my worth and my value, and to be okay with who I am instead of feeling like I need to be someone better or be someone else.
I'm kind of a very fearful and cautious person because of that place. I still have, you know, I have nightmares about it.
Pastor Mike Sparrow emphatically denies all of the allegations the women have made against him. He says he is eager to fight the case in court. At the same time, the women hope that a trial will be a chance to have their stories heard and give them a measure of justice.
Well, when you're destroying little girls and doing things to them that will change them for the rest of their lives, and they have no choice to go back and do anything about it, and he's gotten to just be free for 17 years. It's sickening. So it is absolutely delightful that we've got people behind us that are just going to try with us, because that's all we're asking.
He broke the law and did evil things and needs to face what he did.
I want people to acknowledge what happened and how terrible it was. I want him to have to admit his guilt.
I want exposure to the unjust system, and I want this guy who's been above the law for so many years, to have to face what he did and not be in denial and not deceive himself and other people.
I have nothing but disdain for that man, and I hope he has nothing but misery for the rest of his life.